I'm Ricc Rollins. We're here at Perry Harvey Park. We're going places. Don't you want to come along? Let's go. I'm Ricc Rollins, and we're here at Perry Harvey Park. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Our own Laura Byrne, the editor of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, is back sharing some of the things that we should see and do in the Bay Area and beyond. She's also revealing the cover of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine for February, featuring our own Karima Henry. Dr. Nabuki, the pet vet, is back, and in this special edition of Ask the Vet, it's the feline edition as we find out what your cats are really saying and thinking. And speaking of Karima, she's back with her Valentine's Day craft, a Black History moment, and she'll also share her favorite read of the week. Robin Mitchell, friend to the show and author of Inspire the Love You Desire, 30 Love Tips, is back with some of those love tips and a love check-in for the holiday. All of this and more coming up on this edition of Going Places, starting right now. Laura Byrne is in the house. You know, I'm always happy when Laura is here. So glad to have you, my dear, and you are looking ever so lovely.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to be back. And of course, you look good as always. You do run a clothing store. You are a stylist. So, I mean, it comes easily for you.
Oh, you'd be surprised how hard it is to get all of this together.
You make it look easy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, Laura, we're getting ready to do the Going Places Weight Loss Challenge. And so it is going to be an interesting journey as we watch the incredible shrinking Rick.
Okay. Well, let's see this. Hopefully, you're going to do it in a healthy way, of course.
Oh, yes, we are. I can't announce it yet, but we've got a new fitness person that is going to be joining us as a regular on the team, and we are excited about her doing so.
Awesome.
And the first thing I said is, make me your project. And she said, okay, I will. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to that.
So great. It'll be all new clothes, but that's easy.
Yeah, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What you been up to, girl?
I will tell you, it is busy in Tampa Bay. We have so many new things that have opened or are opening. And of course, we've got some big expansions coming to some of our biggest attractions in town too. So it's a super exciting time to call Tampa Bay home for sure.
Well, I am proud to call it home every single day. I have a friend that has moved here and says that he loves it here, and this is where he wants to spend the rest of his life. He will retire here.
I
I'm
mean,
so glad people are feeling like that about Tampa.
yeah, where else would you live, right?
Come on now.
Yeah.
This is very true.
Yeah, so, we've been busy going around to a lot of different attractions around town. And one thing that I'm most excited about is because I'm really into dinosaurs, always have been. So at Glazer Children's Museum, a Tampa family purchased the world's largest fossil triceratops. And this is a real fossil triceratops, and they have donated it to the museum to put on display for 3 years. And the fossil name is Big John, and we got a chance to see it from when they first unboxed his humongous skull to now that it's been put together by the auction house. And right now the museum is really just working on building that exhibit around Big John. And it's going to open Memorial Day weekend. And here's what's really cool. Now, Glazer Children's Museum, yes, it's just for kids right now. You have to have a kid to go. But when the Big John exhibit opens, you will be able to go without a child so you can experience this dinosaur for yourself. And it is just truly amazing to think that this creature walked this earth 66 million years ago. And now we get to look at it nose to snout. It's going to be pretty spectacular.
That is amazing. That is really amazing. I can't wait for that. And of course, I'm sure you will be telling us about that.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for opening day for sure.
Exactly. So what else do you have for us?
Yeah, so over at Legoland, Florida. So if any of us who've lived here for a number of time, maybe at one point in our lives when we were vacationing as kids, we went on those boat rides at Cypress Gardens.
Yeah.
Well, now Cypress Gardens is part of the Legoland theme park, and what they have done, they have a new ride. It's called Pirate River Quest, and this is basically, it's a new ride, but it's also a nod to the past. So if you remember those boat rides through Cypress Gardens, well, they have brought that back, but with a Lego twist. And it's really neat because it's something that kids will enjoy, but it's also something parents and grandparents will enjoy as well. And you just kind of sit there and you're like, it brings back memories. I remember doing this when I was a kid, because you got to think Cypress Gardens was one of the original theme parks here in the
Yes,
state of
well,
Florida. That is what people would do. So it's just really neat to see that they've been able to restore those waterways and canals to bring this ride back and to really just make that nod to the history of the state of Florida.
that is great, and, I need to do that because I remember I'm trying to I think I did? Yeah, I believe that one year with my Aunt Martha and my Uncle Rufus and my cousin Rufus and Terry, they rescued me from my grandparents because when it's not any fun when you're the only kid there, and
Right?
so
Yeah.
they came and they rescued me, and we went to you remember Six Gun Territory? And we
Mhm.
went
Yes, all those original roadside attractions. Yeah.
I need to do that again. Yeah, I think I might. I
I
think
love that there are still some of those spots that are still open where generations in the future are still going to get a chance to enjoy that. So we
yeah,
haven't, gone all Disney quite yet. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
So
No shade to Disney because we do
no
love
shade to
them.
Disney because we love some Disney over here.
Yes,
And
yes.
they've got a lot of exciting things happening too. But moving back to Tampa,
Mhm.
Mosey, speaking of being around for a while, the Museum of Science and Industry, it's been in Tampa for 60 plus years, and they are
Has it been so
constantly a
long?
science museum. Yeah, 60 years. And because they're a science museum, science is constantly evolving. So
Mhm.
Mosey is constantly evolving. And it's really neat. They shut down for a very short period of time in January, and they've refreshed a lot of their exhibits. One of those exhibits at Moonbase. So you could step in and now it's working again where it looks like you really are blasting off from
Oh,
Tampa
wow.
up to the Moonbase. And really, this is a good tie-in because you got to think with the Artemis program, we're
Yeah.
sending humankind back to the moon. So really perfect timing for that. But they've also brought back some other or new additions as well. So they have putt putt outside. So they're really utilizing that outside space. And
Oh,
this
wow, that's
spring,
great.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're going to have a restaurant. So Zydeco in Ybor City, they're going to be bringing a sit-down restaurant there. So now you're going to have a chance to sit down, get lunch, maybe get an early dinner
Oh, that's
while you're there enjoying Mosey. So
coming up
really
right
cool.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And another cool exhibit they have right now is Toothpick World. And this is crazy. This is the world's largest buildings built entirely out of toothpicks, but at a 1/64 scale. I got a chance to talk to the artist who created all this. He's a former TV news reporter, by the way. So
Oh,
we
really?
are all doing kind of cool things after our TV news careers, right? But it's just really neat. You just see this, it's just amazing to think really all of this is just created from toothpicks and glue and a little bit of masking tape to hold it together as it dries. It's insane. So I definitely recommend going to go see that at Mosey.
Look, girl, I'm gonna go. Now, I hope I haven't had lunch. I don't wanna accidentally pull one of
Not into it. They've got some ropes so you can't get past. So
the
it's good.
to keep the Rick Rollins of the world away because 'cause I'll be like, "Oh, you don't need this one." Okay.
Let's see.
What else do you have for us? That
Yeah,
is
over at Zoo Tampa, they recently announced some really big expansion plans coming in the future. But right now, one new thing that they have that you can experience, the Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation, over at the Florida Wilds Boardwalk area, they've put in place these new activations so we can learn more about the corridor and how important it is, the wildlife here in our state, and how important it is also for us to protect the corridor and even expand it. Because right now, it only covers about 17.7 or square miles in our state. They would like to see that expand even further, just so that way wildlife is able to access and move through our state and all these protected areas without any risk of running into development or major roadways. But it's really great, and it's a chance for kids and adults to get to know some of the creatures that call our state home in this corridor, and also some of the creatures that live at Zoo Tampa as well. So really neat. I definitely encourage you as you're walking through the Florida Wild area to stop, give it a look, and of course enjoy the animals while you're there as well.
I need to do that. I haven't been there in a while,
But they're
so I
so
think I need to
cute.
do
It's so
that.
great. They've done a fantastic job with the expansions, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be bringing here in the future too. So a lot of big things happening in Tampa Bay.
That works for me. That's why we call the show Going Places.
Yes.
Now you got some places to go. No, so what else do you have for us? I hear you have one last very special thing to share with us.
Oh, our February issue. We have somebody very special on the cover. Do you recognize this young lady?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It is
Yes,
one and only.
this was such a fun photo shoot, and it's on. Of course, we were talking about dinosaurs an issue as well, but at Legoland or actually Peppa Pig theme park, they also have the Grampy Pigs ride. So it was just so much fun to work with Karima and her son. He's such a great model, by the way. If anyone has
He
ever
is. I keep telling her she needs to be a momager immediately.
I know well, that's why I love working with them because, listen, I don't even photograph my own kids. They are terrible at taking pictures. They just don't want to do it. Hers are fantastic, but it was such a fun day and a chance to, Peppa Pig theme park. It's the world's first. It's right here in our backyard, right next door to Legoland. And they're celebrating 1 year this month. So yeah, very exciting. It's, a lot of these big names, they want to be in Tampa Bay, and it's just really neat that we have this right here in our own backyard that our kids can go and experience. And I love this park because it's designed for the littlest ones, preschoolers. They can ride with their moms and dads and their adults on the ride, or they can ride by themselves. It's really up to them.
Building that independence up early.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Laura Byrne, as always, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. It's been way too long.
I know.
Real soon. And by the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
In this heart. Love you much. You take care now. Bye-bye. We'll be back with more Going Places right after this. Stay with us.
Your coffee saying? My coffee today is saying serenity. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things that I can. And wisdom to know the difference. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
When I make noises watching birds outside, what do you believe I'm saying?
So they're saying, please, please, bird, oh my, come inside. I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you. We'll play. We'll have a good time. But your cat is lying. It's not telling the truth to the bird. He wants them to come inside, not to play, but to hunt them because they have predator instincts, and cats love to jump onto little birdies, unfortunately. So keep the birds away from the kitty cats.
Why is a dog living in this house?
So that is a great question. Another one that cats are very familiar on asking, because we have a saying in the vet world that when you have a dog, the dog lives with you, but when you have a cat, you live in the cat's house. Everything in the house is the cat's realm. So whether it's a dog or any other animal, it is their kingdom, and the other ones are just residing in it. So you do have to ask them for permission whenever you bring in a new pet, because they are going to be feisty for at least a couple of weeks whenever you bring someone home.
Do you understand what makes me purr?
So when cats purr, it is a very positive thing. Okay, we're not talking about a low humming growl, because that would be definitely different, but a very passive purring is seen as a very positive thing. So that is great. That is wonderful. That means you're doing a great job. It means they're relaxed. So a cat purring, thumbs up on that.
Do you realize how valuable my whiskers are?
Whiskers are very important to the kitties. Okay, very, very important. They have a lot of receptors around them and can actually sort of detect when they're sniffing around or touching things where things are at with that. So be very careful around their whiskers. They're very sensitive to it, especially where they attach to the skin, but they do have a very strong sensory purpose. So the whiskers, they're there not just for show, but they do have a function.
What am I telling you when I swish my tail?
When a cat swishes its tail, really depends. Okay, you gotta look into their eyes. Okay, you gotta talk to them. You gotta make sure they're good. Usually if that swish of the tail is followed up with, like, they roll on their belly or they go over to you and rub on you, that's a positive thing, okay? If they swish their tail, turn around, and then show you their butt, then they're probably upset about something. So you really have to correlate it with other factors as well.
And now, Royal Pets salutes Black History Month. Augustus Nathaniel Lushington. the first African-American veterinarian. Born August 1st, 1869, became the first African-American to earn a doctorate of veterinary medicine from the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine in 1897. He practiced for about 2 years in Philadelphia and worked as an instructor in veterinary sanitation and hygiene at Belmead Industrial and Agricultural College in Rock Castle, West Virginia. This Black History Moment was brought to you by Royal Pets. Going Places continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. A place for you to come and share thoughts and spirit through a cup of coffee. Come and enjoy with us here at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. Karima Henry now shows us how to make a craft that's sure to pull at your heartstrings. Take it away, Karima.
Thanks, Rick. Today we are making these yarn wrap hearts in honor of Valentine's Day as well as Black History Month. We'll learn more about Daniel H. Williams, who was one of the first doctors to perform open heart surgery in America. To get started, you'll need scissors, tape, pencil, cardboard, and yarn. First, you'll need to trace the heart template on the recycled cardboard. Then you use your scissors to cut it out. You can make as many hearts as you would like. These hearts are really easy to make. All you need to do is take your yarn and hold it down and wrap it around the back of one of your cutouts. Make sure you secure it with a piece of tape and start wrapping it in different directions. Your goal is to completely cover your heart with the yarn. Keep the yarn as tight as possible while you're wrapping it. This heart project was inspired by American physician Daniel H. Williams. He was a pioneer in the field of medicine and was the first Black doctor to perform successful open heart surgery. Dr. Williams also founded Chicago's Providence Hospital and co-founded the National Medical Association. Providence Hospital was the first non-segregated hospital in the United States. I hope you had a great time with me today and learning more about Daniel H. Williams. If you're looking for another book to celebrate Black History Month, I recommend The ABCs of Black History. Back to you, Rick.
Coming up now, the Love Doctor's in the house. My friend Robin Mitchell, the author of Inspire the Love You Desire, shares some love tips and a love check-in for the Valentine's Day holiday. Take a look. Know this man. This is Robin Mitchell. He inspires the love every single day. And because you are getting ready to celebrate Valentine's Day, I am sure that you need to hear from, I affectionately call him the Love Doctor himself. Welcome to the show, Robin Mitchell. Hey, Robin, how are you?
Hi, Rick, my friend. I'm wonderful. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for taking some time out of your very busy schedule to share with us this morning. So, Robin, here we are, 3 days to Valentine's Day, and people are probably chomping at the bit because they still haven't figured out how to convey the love. So I thought, who better to talk to about the best ways to inspire the love and convey the love than you? So let's talk, my friend.
Absolutely. I know we're probably spending a lot of time in the card aisle trying to pick out the best love card we can come up with, tripping over boxes of chocolate, teddy bears, and all that bouquets of flowers just everywhere, and trying to figure out how are we going to make sure our love feels love, make them feel special. In our effort to go out and spend some extra cash, We too often forget about the simple things,
Come on,
the
sir.
things that will inspire love to last, not just for the next few days,
Right.
but love that can last a lifetime. One of the things I would love to get you to try is this. Let's play a game with your spouse. Play this game of You Still Got It. Now, if you don't know what You Still Got It means, we may need to talk one-on-one.
Okay.
But go back through your photo archive. Look for the oldest photo you can find of you and your love together. And take your mind back to that place in time when love was still new. And you can remember all the things that attracted you to your love. And it was so easy for you to tell your friends why they were so special. And you would brag on your love interests and why you just spent so much time with them and why they made you feel like you could conquer the world. If you can remember why you said, I love you in the beginning, now tell them if they still got it. That's the game. That's the game. You still got it. List all the ways, as many as you can. And when you run out of fingers to count, keep on counting. Remember why you first told them. Yeah. Fingers and toes. Yeah. Tell them why you first said, I love you. And if that still rings true, do you still love them because of those same reasons? Now, granted, some of us got caught up, because of the physique, the smell good, the beauty products, the clothes, the style. But after you got past the superficial and you learn who they really are, and it made you fall deeper in love with them, those are the things you need to list that you still get it. Not how fine you are. Oh, baby, you still fine. And they come out the shower and you whistle at them. No, I'm talking about the qualities that inside that make you still want to stay with them and not leave their side. When you just not just to be proud with them by your side when you're out and about, but when you're sitting on the couch and you just love spending time with them. Tell them those things. Tell them you still got it. You still got that it factor. That I love to hear you call me sweetie. I love to hear you call me babe. I love to hear you call me your significant other. This is my person, right? So come up with that list. Whatever that list is, list it out and write it down. There's your love card. There's the love letter that's going to make their heart melt. And boy, it's going to be a special night to remember.
I think that what happens a lot of times, Robin, is that we forget why we fell in love with the person that we're in love with. If you have one in your life, we forget sometimes because it becomes, what's the word I want to, we almost take it down to it is what it is instead of understanding that it is what it is, but it should even be more than it is. Because it should have grown and not waned. It should have, there should be an anticipation rather than a dissipation. And then there needs to be, but of course, there needs to be a participation. I sound like Jesse Jackson right about now. But I think that what happens is that we forget that we begin to take each other for granted in a lot of instances because they're still there and you think they'll never go anywhere. So I think that it's important, like you said, that you take a moment and you reflect on why this person means as much to you as they do. That's really good. That's good.
Sure. Now, let's make let's get our listeners to make this commitment because we'll get used to each other and become complacent, and we'll echo that phrase. We'll echo that phrase. It is what it is. Yeah. Right. Instead of to substitute this phrase, it is what it is. It is what you make it, so make it great.
I like that. Make it great.
It is what you make it, so make it great. So whatever you invest in your love, that's what it will become.
Come on, sir.
If you want your love to grow, you got to pour into them.
Yes.
And you got to pour the best of you into them if you want more out of them. If you're not getting the love you want, then what are you putting in? You're putting nothing in, well, expect to get something out in return.
It's what that scripture almost it says. Man don't work, man don't eat.
And don't eat.
Same thing, you don't work at the relationship. What do you expect out of it? That's really amazing. So Robin, if you had one piece of good advice in the last minute that we have, what would you say to them? What would you tell that person who's sitting in that place that says, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know how to get it back. I don't know how to inspire the love anymore. What would you say to them?
Lead with kindness and love.
Mm.
Lead with kindness and love.
Mm-hmm.
You'll miss this if you're not paying attention. Kindness always leads to love.
Mm.
We forget the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That's right.
We default to do to them before they do to you. That's not the attitude.
It's not that. You're right.
Right. Lead with kindness and love. If you're always being kind to your love, always being complimentary, always giving them a reason to want to be around you, they won't get enough of you if you're always being kind to them, complimentary to them, making sure that they get the best first. Mm-hmm. And you'll be surprised where that will lead you if you lead with kindness and love.
There you have it, folks. Let's lead with kindness and love, and let's make sure that this Valentine's Day is not about a card or some flowers. It's about the love that you've inspired because you led with kindness and love. Robin Mitchell, as always, I thank you for being here. If you want to get a copy of Robin's book, here's the QR code, and we'll have more Going Places right after this.
Good morning. What is your coffee saying? My coffee today is saying serenity. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things that I can. And wisdom to know the difference. Enjoy life one cup at a time.